Session 2, week 2, bench press this morning with some upper body assistance, whatever we got time for, naturally press for time. So single up to 162 minimum, because that was the last from last week. So the RP limit on this is going to probably be a wee bit higher, because typically bench press is okay with slightly higher RP, and it can get pushed actually till pretty much 9. And recover normally, but within shoulder pain regression parameters that I'm using at the minute, I don't really push to that kind of level. So, well, I'll go to 162, see how it feels. I mean, I'm going to test the end of this block, so I don't want to push the block too heavy. So I don't know. I'm thinking 170 today, maybe 172. If that's all right, then maybe go 180. But I'm certainly like an RPE. 7's kind of where I'm thinking, and then 5x3, and then on the squats yesterday I added 2x8 because I wasn't really feeling like it had adapted from the previous week. I didn't feel any stronger, so I'm not really wanting to push this. This is something like last year that I kind of experimented with, like singles, and they were like pretty much just regressed. So I'm trying to just do singles to keep the intensity in, but more it's a veil to allow me to just like touch heavyish weights, but more to kind of work at like lower percentages and use this block to kind of see how that rolls. So yeah, I'm just bringing, although the last block was successful for bench and deadlift, I'm just bringing the whole program along under the same umbrella just to see how it goes. And then I've got Scottish Classic in like 16 weeks or something like that, so I'll start like a more kind of focused prep for that at the end of this block. I just want to see some progression in my squat, because I know I can progress the deadlift and the bench. So yeah, let's go. Like, comment, subscribe and all that shit, and fucking 2026 when I actually get this out. Hilarious. Yeah, so this is AM PM split. I think I started doing this from the week beforehand. So in the morning, working up to, I think this is week 2. It's been a while. This workout was done in like 3rd or 4th of April, and this is the 8th of May. So I have a backlog. I've missed a few workouts and stuff, and I'll kind of say where I've missed a few sessions. But I want to keep the series going, so I'm going to try and catch up on the backlog. I was doing two a day there, trying to get caught up for 2 weeks ago, and then obviously fell by the wayside. So that's a single 162, and then the workout I think we're up to 4s maybe. This got up to 5s. No, 3. Alright, so yeah, I'm just kind of orientating myself where I'm at with this training. So this was a 4-week block. This is week 2. So this went on for 4 weeks. I'm currently on a new block of training, which we'll kind of get up to here. So the idea of this block was to accumulate intensity or accumulate volume around 80% intensity on the lifts. To set a single that was pretty easy. I think the goal was around an RP 6 single. To use that as a kind of a benchmark to touch heavier weights, and then to just accrue volume around 80%. So on this workout, 80%, I think my predicted max was 195, or maybe it must have been slightly more for 162. But yeah, that's the reason 162 is being used there, because it's 80% of whatever the estimated RM was. Bench was feeling okay. Bench and deadlift had a good block from and then this was some volume. So I probably explained this in the last video, but the story behind this was originally this was going to be 5x3 at 80%, and then a single, and then I was going to ramp the intensity of the 3s
but I kind of determined that wasn't going to be enough volume from going week to week, and I think that was the squat workout that kind of led me to believe that that wasn't going to be enough volume, because I did the second workout and it felt shit. So then I added in the 8s, and as part of the 8s as well, I decided to, instead of increasing intensity, I would just spend a bit of time accruing some volume, because I was just reckoning I was a bit out of shape, generally speaking. So deadlift was probably a fair bit under 80%. It was probably, I don't know, like 75% or 70%. Probably around, maybe a little bit more. I don't think my estimated RM was as high as 300. It might have been. But yeah, it was a very, very easy block for deadlift in terms of like accumulating the volume at that intensity. The back offs were pretty brutal though for deadlifts. The session was pretty brutal for deadlifts as well. It was up to a single 5 back offs at 80% or 75% for deadlift, and then 2 sets of 8. And the sets of 8 were for bench and squat as well. The squat workout was pretty good. It accrued fairly well. The deadlift workout was probably the easiest in terms of intensity, but it kind of felt pretty difficult over the piece, and the bench one was by far the hardest over the piece. But yeah, there's pretty good, decent days training, especially compared to the week previous. But yeah, that was all good. I'll catch you in the next one.